Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. I just don't want you to start. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Wedding Crashers podcast. We're your hosts, Kyle and Cameron, as you might know us as the Wedding Crashers and our experience. I didn't get a chance to do that last time.
Yeah. We're so sorry about that. The
What?
audio was so bad last time.
And he owed it to me to intro this one because last week we had no good audio, but now we're safe, right?
We're back. Yeah.
Woo!
I clicked the wrong button. It's on me. That's on me.
You know what they
So,
say?
What?
You know exactly what you're doing with podcasting after 100 episodes.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Did you know
this
that?
is episode 15.
That's the statistic.
That's a bad statistic.
That was a
because
hard
we have
word for me to say.
85 episodes left to figure it out.
I think we got it nailed.
The audio should be like the easiest. I feel like the audio should be the easiest.
But
thing.
I think either way, we hit that point home that we sold a lot, fortunately for us, a lot of
Yeah.
weddings in the month of January.
Yes.
I hope, at least, that people get across the fact that we had to try our best to clean. It's okay, though.
Yeah.
$110,000 worth of weddings in January. February is looking very promising, very cool. I actually just got a very exciting inquiry this morning that I will get on a call with that bride here in a couple hours. So I think every week is kind of churning out like these really great. I mean, like we said, with poor audio, I'll say with good audio now. If we in January can collectively sell about $110,000 worth of weddings when it's the soft lead season, like there's so many ghosts. Like there's a lot of people kind of coming and going.
Yeah.
Not super excited, or I guess we're overly excited and then realize that maybe they didn't want to buy right now and we could still net those people.
Yep.
It's exciting. And not only that, we'll teach you how to net those people in approximately 6 days.
6 days.
Our mastermind.
Yes, our mastermind is coming up. It is the Sell More Weddings Mastermind group. Here's how you get to that mastermind group. You visit school.com. That's SKOOL.com/weddingcrashers. There you can join the community. The community is totally free. Kyle, isn't our community just bumping?
Oh,
it's just buzzing
and one
all
thing-
the time.
Well, yes. And the fact that when this episode drops on Monday, it'll actually be 2 days away. It'll be on the 18th.
That's right.
Today we're recording on the 12th. On Monday, it'll be the 16th, and then the mastermind starts on the 18th. The
Yes.
school community is really full of people, like
Yeah.
introducing themselves, saying who they are, including us, like
Mhm.
before and after pictures, family pictures, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then in there, like we've mentioned, like there'll be like the modules that we'll put in there. The first one right now, obviously the most relevant one, is the mastermind on Wednesday.
Exactly. And the mastermind will be dedicated to helping everybody understand what market they're in, what market they need to start talking to, the way that they talk to these people that they're trying to market, and really just helping you close more deals. Like Kyle had mentioned, in the month of January, $110,000 was closed, and now you said it's February 12th today. I think we've passed or are about to pass that 130 threshold, which is just really, really cool. And there's so much time left in the rest of the year. So like the thought of hitting just some crazy numbers this year is just so fun.
I'm excited. I mean, if
Yeah.
anything, it's just nice to go into you go into a spring season and then in a blink of an eye, it's so busy that it's basically summer already. And,
Yeah.
and in summer, it's in Arizona. It's like in years past, it's always been slower. And therefore for us that are trying to provide for more than just ourselves, a little bit scarier. I know
Yeah.
that a lot of people take that as like the break. And I'm like, the last thing I need right now is a break. I just need
Yeah.
to keep working.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a really busy spring with a good cushion, a nice little padding of capital, of cash in order
Yeah.
to take your family through, which I don't feel like will be that crazy important this year, being that our summer is being asked about quite a bit. Like it seems like the
Yes.
summer might be just as busy as the spring and the fall, just for all the people that need you to go to California or different destinations.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people asking about like the May, June, July's have me excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just really excited about helping other people kind of understand exactly what we've been learning over the last few years of being just a couple of guys doing the best we can to film cool weddings while also trying to support our families while doing so. Both of our spouses do not make any income outside of the home, and so it is just one of those things that it's this weight that sits on our shoulders, and for a long time it felt like, okay, I got to do this thing. I got to carry over the hump. And now, like you said in our last episode, again, sorry for the terrible audio. If you didn't listen, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
And
The
Cameron's
audio-
apologizing.
I am.
because it's
I
his
feel
fault.
so bad. I hit play on the podcast like to play it back to post it, and I knew I
It was a
up.
heavy week. I mean, it
Yeah,
was a heavy Monday.
yeah,
It was basically like shoot and post that same day, so
yeah.
something was bound to happen.
Yeah. But anyway, now we're in this season where it doesn't feel so much like we're dragging this weight sled behind us. It feels more like we have a good feel of the weight on our shoulders and we can confidently walk through the summer, which I personally am very excited about. This is the first summer in 3 years that I am not going to go into it basically trying not to like cry every day.
Just waiting for the fall to come around.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
exactly.
nice because in years past, like you can depend basically on the summer to still book and
Yeah.
retain and get those retainers and all
Right.
that, except for the first summer that I left the hospital and oh my gosh. But anyways, you can always bet on relatively good, depending on your marketing, your branding, and your network, a good
Yeah.
amount of leads coming in and your ability to net those people to buy and get through the summer that way. But
Yeah.
we're talking about Arizona specifically because it's kind of inverse everywhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere else. So if your off season is the winter time when it's snowing and whatever, like that's when we're like heavy wedding season. But regardless, we want to teach you what we know about selling weddings, how we sell weddings. We're going to go into sales calls, how you're talking to people. We will personally review sales calls and we'll be doing a one-on-one with everybody in the group, doing a really deep dive on exactly what it is that is the bottleneck in your sales process that's keeping you from selling more weddings. I started making a huge shift in my business around March, April last year. And by the end of the year, I had a really tight grasp on who my couples were, what I was doing, and I am a totally different business today than I was last March. So all of that to say, it's not an overnight fix. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not anything that's going to fix you in 10 days. This is just a solid business mastermind that's going to teach you how to sell more weddings and run a very successful business year after year. So
Yeah.
school.com, SKOOL.com/wedding crashers. Check it out. The community is free. The mastermind is not. But if there's still spaces, we're only taking 10 people. So if you're hearing this and you join the school community and there are still spaces left, the last week of the mastermind, we're in the last week. So it's 50% off right now.
Oh yeah, that's
So-
probably important to say. It's
Yeah, we
50%
should have
off.
said that in the beginning.
With their last week is 50% off right now. We
Yeah.
want to definitely get all 10 seats filled.
Yep.
Give as much value to those that are interested and want to do that as much as we can.
Yep.
Just because we know that as soon as like the spring starts and you start getting like those really valuable leads, we don't want to leave you or basically leave anything up to chance. And not to say that you wouldn't be able to sell it well, but I mean, you got to remember the whole reason I decided to move into the studio space with this guy is because he's salesman extraordinaire.
This guy.
CB right here.
No. I do love sales, and I will talk a lot about what I know about sales. I'm not an extraordinaire. I am
I think people that watch your stories would beg to differ, but that's good.
okay.
That's great.
Yep. Moving on. We wanted to mention the sponsor of our podcast episode today, and that is brideandgroom.video. That's BRIDEN groom.video. They are the exclusive editing partners of the Wedding Crashers. Kyle, how long have you been using Bride and Groom?
A year.
Like a year?
Yeah, it's been about a
A
year.
little over a year.
But I,
You know, it's funny. We had another editing company,
Mhm.
and we were both using them. And then I saw Bride and Groom, and I was like, "Hey, Kyle, you should check out. Like, you should do it.
You should
start.
try it.
You try it.
It's funny because it's hard. You as well as I, as well as everyone knows that between the DMs and the emails, we're all getting hit with like different editors that want your business all the time.
all the time.
And you throw the occasional one a bone like I did, and they do a pretty good job the first time, they do a fairly good job the second time, and then you realize that like after time and time again, like maybe they slow down when it comes to like the care and the passion and the intention with the editing that you would personally put in.
Yeah.
And at that point it gets a little bit dangerous because you get used to the help, but then you have to start, in order to keep up with the quality, it becomes counterintuitive because you end up taking all those and fixing them up yourself.
Yeah.
And so with Bride and Groom, I remember Cameron pointing them out to me. He's like, "Hey, they might be a little bit more expensive, but they seem really great." I'm like, "You pay for them then." But
And I was like, no.
but comparatively speaking, there are a lot of local editors out there that are really great, that are 2 or 3 times as much.
Yeah.
Like I got to give these guys a chance because just like the experience I'm having communicating, the experience I have with like their website and how well they keep up with me. And I basically have like a dedicated rep that handles all of the, if something is missing, if there's a song missing, if there's any kind of like colors that they need to get a hold of me for, if there's any sound design tools that they, anything that they need that
Yep.
they have, that I've referenced before, they make sure to include and keep up like the details of what I've wanted in past films. So I really appreciate, like, they never feel like they're bugging me because they're not, because they know the intention behind every film. They know how much that they're helping me. So they've been our exclusive people for a while. Like, it started
Shout
with
out Hannah.
me, came with Cameron, and then we're fortunate enough where we have a partnership when it comes to Wedding Crashes, which they agreed to do actually before we were as well established as we are now. So
Yeah.
they took a chance on us every bit as much as we took a chance on them. So
Yeah.
they're
And
great.
it's paid off so much. I mean, honestly, the amount of times where I'm like, man, it's so nice knowing that I'm going to take this wedding film and I'm going to pick out some songs, I'm going to upload all this stuff, I'm going to let them know the creative direction that I wanted to take myself, and I give it to them, and then I get this film back and it's like I could have done this myself and I could have taken however long it would have taken me to do that, but instead I was helping some of my other couples. I was able to extend my hand and be in two places at one time. It's like having a second shooter on the wedding day. It's like having a second editor in the editing
Yes,
room.
and like we said before, it's like if everything is going to suffer in terms of quality, it's because you're trying to do it all alone.
Yep.
If you want everything to continue to run not only at a higher volume but at a higher quality, it's because you have editors that you can trust. And of course, at the beginning, that's going to come with a little bit of work. Like you can put in as much work as you feel like they need at the front end. For example, like I'll mix my music a lot of the time to help them out. I will give them a lot of references. I will tell them how I do my storytelling. I will tell them what's basically going on in my mind. And they keep notes of that because there will be more than one editor that happens to like touch these films just because they have a whole team behind them. But there's always a portfolio or like a personal insight into basically like how my brain works because it's all well organized according to my file on their end. So
Yep.
they're great.
They're
Use
amazing.
them, try them out. We got you for your first edit, $100 off with Crashers 100.
Yes.
All right.
That was so good.
We
That
freaking
was so
nailed
good. It
it.
was beautiful. 100 episodes, my butt. I don't need 100 episodes.
We need 50. What's today? We need 15. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's basically kind of like a little story time. We've hit pretty hard the past few weeks. Like, we'll have more stories to tell as the season ramps up. And,
Yeah.
we went to like,
Before we start telling stories,
Okay.
you tell me where you're going this summer, or where you're going this spring, this summer. What does your wedding season look like?
it's mostly local. Oh gosh, I have to look again. I'm not traveling anywhere out of state or out of country for the spring. The summer, I'm gonna go to. Well, there was a lot of people asking about this summer. There is a really interesting story about where I could have potentially gone, um, a lot of different places. But I'm waiting to hear back from a few people. I could potentially go out of country in June. I will go out of country for Jacob and Carmela's wedding in October. We both will. We're
Booyah.
both going to go to Italy to film that one. That
Man, I'm
one's
so
going to be really
excited
excited. Uh, Gosh, I feel as though the really, really cool ones that are getting asked about right now are for summer of 27, funny
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Summer of 27 has a lot of, I will go to North Carolina this summer.
Nice.
But
What
yeah,
part?
Charlotte.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
You're
Anyways,
coming to California with me in a couple weeks.
oh yeah, I'm
Remember
going to
that?
California with you in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Where are you
so
going
fun.
besides California?
A lot of local. In September, I'm going to Newport, Rhode Island. I'm very excited about Rhode Island. Where else am I going? I'm going one other place. Oh, in November, I'm going to Puerto Vallarta,
Oh,
which would be super
oh
fun.
nice.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm going to Cabo in June. That's what I forgot about.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to Cabo in June, and you're going to Puerto Vallarta in what'd you say?
November.
November.
Yeah.
Sick.
So sick.
We are such travelers. It's hard too because I was actually thinking about this today, where you kind of get the travel bug as you become a videographer, but it's out of basically total necessity.
Yeah.
Where we're very, very lucky to live in Arizona, where we have Scottsdale and Paradise Valley, because that is like a top tier destination location, and we just get to basically film all those weddings for people that come here, which is awesome. So that takes up like 80, 85, 90% of the weddings that we do, and super happy to do them. But for the other 10%, like we said, in order to bridge that gap for the summer and the occasional like spring, fall,
Yep.
like you have to kind of market yourself as a traveler that goes to like weddings. California is great. Being this close to California is great too, because we'll go there like 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
And we're, as Arizonans, a little bit less expensive than like the California vendors there. And really, it's just like a hop, skip, jump away for us to travel and
Yeah.
do a cool wedding in California.
Yeah, at first, when I first came as a videographer, I think I wanted to do destination, and then I did one travel gig, and I was like, oh, I don't really like this.
You have to
And
get
then
used to the flow.
yeah, and I decided I just didn't want to do it, and then I'm like, oh, I got a family anyway, like I'll just do it here. And then as I'm getting further, I'm like, okay, I don't like want to exclusively travel. Like I don't want to just be a destination wedding videographer, but I definitely it's a necessity. It's a necessity to have a few here and there that come through to help cash flow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just too stressful.
No, and
You got to take on more volume, and
you can't. I mean, as far as like, here's how like where our masculine logistical brains kind of like come in. Like, it's really cool and fun. Trust me. Like, I love having that stuff on the portfolio. As far as margins go, like sometimes it's just worth it to have missed out on like whatever cool wedding that really wanted a big deal overseas, and sometimes it's worth it. But I would be totally fine with it if instead another Paradise Valley wedding that
Yep.
came that did full price for 1 day or 2 days, because the margins just to stay local they just
Yeah.
make more sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
way more.
So it just depends on what your goals are, really. If you want to travel more, for sure, take the hit. If you want to, make a little bit more money per gig, it's nice, because the other day I was really happy that someone paid for my top package, which includes like 3+ days, and usually like will happen for destination weddings where I'm going to be there anyways. We're going to have all this fun for however many days on location. Usually applies to destination weddings, but someone booked it for something local, which made me so happy, because like the price of like traveling and going to and fro is all basically in there, but now I don't have to spend it on that. Like
Yeah.
we just get to be local and
Yeah.
also and then film for all those days. So
Yeah.
it's nice when the margins are good
Yeah.
for stuff like that.
I'm excited for the wedding season to start. I'm also a little nervous. At the beginning of every wedding season, my back gets all types of tweaked up until it learns again that like I don't like to be soft on my back. So for the first few weeks, I'm gonna walk like a hunchback. And I'm gonna be hurting, but then I'll be settled in.
And I mean,
I'm excited.
It's a very
I feel like I haven't filmed a wedding even though we just filmed.
we
a
just
wedding,
filmed one, but at that one, I felt like we hadn't filmed a wedding in a long time.
like a long time,
Yeah.
but it's only been a month. But
That's enough to make you feel like, how do I do?
yeah, I literally, when we got to your wedding, I was like, wait, what are my shortcut? How do I get my Kelvin? And so I was just like,
That
man.
and I was working on a new shooting flow, because like I got some new gear. I got the spider holster, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to hold everything. Yeah, that's the fun and experimental part of trying to be, because I also got some new lenses. I'm like, okay, now have a lot of lenses, and I don't know if I have a way to use them all in a single day.
Yeah. Okay, Kyle, tell me
Okay.
about why you wanted to be cursed with this entrepreneurial bug. Did you choose it? Did it choose you? What made you want to say, I have so many lenses and cameras and editing and travel and bags and so many things? Like, what made you start this career?
Oh, well, okay, so I'll tell you.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
That's
I
a pretty
know.
good segue.
Yeah, it was a great segue.
Yeah, just
I wanted
just
to.
this entrepreneurial
I just feel like
thing.
in general, like most of us can go through like these highlights in our childhood, or maybe even like in our adolescence, and think about them and come up with like, oh, that's why I am the way that I am, or this this all makes sense now. I honestly think, dude, in your 30s, it's such a self revelatory age, because like I am this way because of XYZ whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm thinking about all these different, like, not everyone has these kinds of stories, but I think, again, we get along well because we have very similar stories. Like, I have these kind of weird creative stories about like my rearing up in my childhood, and also these random entrepreneurial stories. But as a child and as a teen, you kind of think like, oh, everyone's like this.
Yeah.
And then you grow up and you realize, wait, I guess not everyone's
You
like
were
this.
alone.
I mean, not totally alone, but I was just telling Cameron how I've shared the story of like taking pictures with like my parents' cameras, or stealing like their video cameras, or like taking pictures of like corners of the house, or like making movies with my friends, and then bringing it back up to my mom, like, today, and be like, that I was always meant to do films, I guess. And she's like, like she's totally supportive. Like I could say, like, I was always meant to be a nurse because I one time went to the doctor and I said I like the hand soap. I don't know. Like it could have. She'll always like, yes, exactly. So she's a little bit too agreeable there. But I look at it as like, oh, I guess maybe I always had like that kind of like that eye or something, or like just the love of like, and a lot of it, like we're dudes, so I do my best not to get too deep into like, yeah, dude, the best camera, the best gear, because that's so what our industry is full of, at least for media production.
Yeah.
And for wedding videos, this weird, different whole beast where it's like, yes, the gear is important, but it's a what's the phrase? It's a means.
It's a means to an end.
It's a means to an end. Like there's everything. Like at first it was all about like, I love electronics, I love TVs, I love cameras, I love I love lamp, right? And then you get my profile when I first started my Instagram was like, did you ever fall into that? It was like your gear. It was like, oh, Sony A7S III,
No.
24 to 70.
No, thank goodness.
Oh
I
my
was
gosh.
probably 6 months after
Oh,
that came through.
I fell into that so hard.
Thank
Like,
goodness. I would have got no booking. If
I-
that was actually worth anything, I have the Canon 77D. Everyone would have been like, boom.
it was all about flexing like your gear. Like, look at me go. And then you get deeper into this job. And as this job has kind of grown with you, because it's not to say that it was really established even when we were getting started, like this job has kind of grown, like cinema in general, like the consumer level cinema cameras is also growing as like basically like media production is growing. And
Yeah.
so wedding videographers is a very specific lane of that, but it's a means to an end, right? So you realize as you grow, like I needed all these other attributes. Like not only did I want to love cameras, but I had to know like how to talk to people. I needed to know how to make people feel comfortable. I needed to know how to frame something up or make something look good or cut something in the editing room. Like so it's as simple as even the experience you get when you're editing on the. Do you ever have like a computer lab in elementary school?
Yeah.
And they had like the Macs and they were like literally from the future. Did you ever?
No, we didn't have the Macs. We had very old like HPs.
Oh, dude, our Mac, our whatever computer lab upgraded to like the white Macs, you know, the big
Yeah.
white, like there were like many people had them in their home when they were like transparent, they can like colorful and you can see through them. I thought they looked way more janky like that. They were just super awesome when they were like this flat, shiny white. And we'd go in there and they're like, yeah, get on the video editing software. And I'd like drag a piece of lightning over to like a random, what's the word, the stock video.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and like, look, you can do captions, just like rolling captions, just like Star Wars. You can drag and drop and you can see like the Star Wars captions.
Simplicity.
And I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. Like I was just in love.
Yeah.
You know, but growing up, you realize again, like I said, and then the entrepreneurial part, like there was like the gearhead part, there was a creative part, and there was also like the entrepreneurial part where I guess every kid wasn't setting up a soda stand on the corner of the neighborhood all the time like I was.
No.
I would get grape soda from Albertsons and I would go in the corner and I set up a table and I'd do like whatever, $1 or 50 cents. I don't know what it
Yeah.
was, a soda.
It's very resourceful of you.
Yeah, and I would just like want to sell. I loved making money. I
Yeah.
had a job since I was 14 at Falcon Field because I just loved like, and I was still in sports. I was heavily involved in sports, but on the weekends I wanted a job because I just loved making money.
Yeah.
And something about me that not a lot of people know is that like my family was pretty poor. Like I know everyone says that, but like my
This
family
was real.
my family was pretty stinking poor to the point where well, like I bought all my own high school clothes and I also like bought like our furniture and our TV. Like my mom wasn't gonna have enough money to do any of those things. Like I'd rather make money and like live in a nice place and make it happen myself. Like that's how whenever we went to like the grocery store, because we benefited off of like welfare in our church so often. Whenever like I was gonna say Michaela, whenever my mom came home and she had like bags and the bag said like Walmart, I'm like, we are so rich. Like we are
Those
doing
came from
so
the
good.
store.
No, literally, that's
Yeah.
exact. When it wasn't like a bag of just like. In our church, it was like, it's called the Bishop Storehouse, and they had these very generic bags, and it was very generic food, which we were grateful for. But whenever she pulled out freaking Walmart, I'm like, hell yeah, dude, we must be doing great. So
That's
yeah,
so great. So you think it's more of a blessing than a curse to have this entrepreneurial bug?
yeah,
Yeah.
What's the curse hat?
Oh, well,
What's the curse side?
I always make a joke. Obviously, I definitely do not think it's a curse. I just make a joke every now and then because entrepreneurialism, I don't know. Being an entrepreneur is like, I feel like it's all consuming. Like, I don't know about you, but like, for the most part,
Yeah.
it's 99% of what I think about.
Yes.
It's a part of who I am, and it always has been.
It never shuts off.
It doesn't ever. You know what? I since I was 15 years old, like early memories, I was thinking to myself, I would lay down in bed, I'd close my eyes like a good boy going to sleep before school, and I would lay awake for hours, and I couldn't ever fall asleep. And I remember thinking, like, I don't know, maybe I'm unhealthy, maybe maybe I had too many honey buns today.
Too many cosmic brownies.
I don't know, and I just didn't know what was wrong. And then after a while, I realized I was just thinking about making money. I was thinking about businesses. I was thinking about what I was going to do in my future. Like, I could never turn my brain off. And it's been the 15 years. To this day, I lay down every night. My wife and I, we go to bed every night together. And guess what? She falls asleep, and I'm just, I can't.
I am
turn
blessed.
it off.
I am blessed in that way. Like, I can kind of turn it off when I like want to relax or rest.
I cannot.
But I have a friend just like you. I can't turn it off.
The only way I forget about it for a little bit is through movie or TV shows. Like, Beast Games right now has been so great. I don't know if you're watching Beast Games.
No, but yes.
Dude, it's so good. Just watch them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, catch up.
Okay.
Anyway, it's so good. Me and Ash are watching it together. She loves it too. But it is so good because, like, I'll turn it on and I'm just, but even then, like, even ask Ashlyn, it's like, I'm like, dude, how is Jimmy so freaking smart? Did you see what he did? Like, he literally brought this in. And then I'm like watching the Jimmy Fallon show where Mr. Beast came on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he literally hijacked Jimmy Fallon's show, like went in cahoots with his producers to, like, he literally took the microphone and he's like, bring out the box, like the classic Jimmy voice, and Jimmy Fallon, the host of his own show, is just like, what is happening? And then he gives everybody in his audience like $1,000.
Yeah,
just like,
I did see that.
Jimmy, like, he's a master marketer. Like, think about this. Now every show is going to want him on because everybody can benefit, and I'm just like, and he's just everywhere now. And so, like, even the things that I like to like get away from, I'm watching like one of my favorite movies and I'm like, oh, I love that shot. Oh my gosh, dude, that's a freaking animal. Like, I can't ever get away from it. So I often joke that it's a curse. It's my curse.
Yeah.
Maybe one day it'll settle. I don't know. But it's been the better part of almost 20 years now that I felt that way. But even from when I was younger, I felt like I didn't ever really connect with, like, my friends as much as I probably could have, because except for one of them, one of my buddies, his parents they never had like regular stable jobs. They were always entrepreneurs themselves. They had this little food stand. They'd sell lemonade and kettle corn, and they would go from, food truck, whatever, or what do you call it? Like festivals. Like, they'd just go all over the place and sell kettle corn and lemonade. And you think, like, oh, they're probably scraping. These people were making like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every night. And one of my buddies, he was always looking for people to help him, and he would cycle through so many people at the school, and then we became friends. And he asked me one time, he's like, hey, you want to come? And I'm like, yeah. And then I was the only one that stayed after that. Like, he cycled through so many people because they'd come and make, a couple $100 one night. But then I went, and on one night, I remember walking away with like $200 as like it's like a high schooler.
It's a great feeling.
In a couple hours.
I know.
I'm like, 200, you don't have to pay me that much. And he's like, this is how much we pay everybody. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
He's like, would you want to do this again or no? Like, assuming I was going to say no. I'm like, freak yeah, dude. So literally, every weekend for so long, I would go and I would do these food festivals with him, and just making lemonade, like literally having the time of my life, making a couple $100 every weekend. Like, I thought it was so cool. I had a job at IHOP when I opened up, even though I barely had my license, and all my friends were like, dude, why do you have a job? Like, we were going to hang out, and I'm just like, it's IHOP. It's a work. Yeah. Like, it's a job. And then I hated washing dishes, but then I started working for my dad, and I'm just like, my friends were always like, dude, come hang out. I'm just like, I want to work. Like, I want to work. And not to say that I didn't also want to have fun as a kid, right?
But
that was just
the way that you're, I understand this so well. The priority for you is just I want to make money.
Yeah.
I want to have a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's so
understand.
funny. Do you think I'm gonna ask, okay, maybe this will be the bride and groom video question of the day.
Great.
No, this is a super easy one. Bride and groom video question of the day. Use code Crashers100 for $100 off your first order. Do you think that you'll ever actually retire?
No. Uh-uh. No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, maybe, but I won't.
Not
Everyone's
in a
story,
traditional
no,
sense.
everyone's story is the same. They retire, they twiddle their thumbs for a month, they don't like what they're doing, and they find something that they do. They find
Or
something to do.
or they retire, they twiddle their thumbs and enjoy twiddling their thumbs, and then they die like 5 years
Nah,
later.
yeah, I'm never gonna retire.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I have all the intention of like investing where I should and keeping my family like safe and healthy and get sign up for good retirement programs and all that. Do all the responsible things for sure. A lot in all part thanks to the job that I have and the future that I want to provide with this current job. But that doesn't mean I don't think I'm ever gonna stop working. I
Mm-mm.
don't think I'm ever gonna stop.
I am curious what it will look like though. Like just imagine being 65. You're 65. You're not moving as easy as you once were. You're not doing the set. Like you can't show up at a wedding at 65, right? Like you can't be a
Oh,
wedding videographer in your 60s.
I am.
You can't do
I'm
that.
gonna do it.
Um, I don't know what I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what my second wind is going to be. But
I don't know.
the idea of like I'm going to wake up today and there's nothing on the agenda. Maybe for a vacation for like 2 or 3 days.
Maybe.
Maybe
I don't
after
know.
like a crazy busy wedding season.
And if I'm not out there filming weddings at 65, like I think I would like to have made our stamp as like, a good resource for creatives,
Yeah.
a good educator. Maybe we've built out systems, wink, wink, in the future that can help out like many others because that's the future. That's the fortunate thing about what we're doing is that like it is so content heavy, and not only that, these future generations prioritize and dive so deeply into what is genuine and real, and what's more genuine and real and gives us more creative liberty than weddings themselves. Like the fact that we're at the forefront of something is niche, but also like at the same time is so applicable to the next generation as wedding film. I don't know. I just think there'll be a huge potential in the future to get creative with a lot of the different resources that we can make for people that want to continue to create in the future.
Yeah. I'm really excited about what we have. Obviously, this space that we share is meant to do our own work, and we do a lot of our own work. But we do have a good amount of time where we'll chat about future endeavors. We'll chat about,
We got some lofty goals, guys,
man, we're so
but they're not too far away.
no, and it's crazy because some of it is so exciting because it involves like some of our like good friends here, like in the valley, some other creatives that we just like really love working with. Like we think they're so talented. So I'm excited. I think probably the curse part of this entrepreneurial thing that I always typically make a joke of is it's really hard to feel like settled, right? Like I feel like I got to be doing something more. I got to be doing something
Yeah.
more. I think that's the hardest part, and it's like a blessing and a curse, right? Because it's like the curse is like I struggle so hard with like feeling like very like content with where I'm at,
Yeah.
right? Like enjoying the current season, but then on the other side, I'm like, okay, but if I just like float up here in the clouds for a little bit, think of how cool this would be.
I know. And another thing too is that like the emotional roller coaster of this job is just crazy because like from one day to the next, like yesterday I was feeling fine, and then all of a sudden like you wake up to like a really cool, inquiry for a really cool location. It's gonna happen in, like 3 months. Like I'm on top of the world, and then you just gotta wait until like the next really cool things happen. And really cool things happen often, but like until just recently, it was like so up and down like emotionally, and I'm
Yeah.
just like just hold. I tell everyone now that's getting into it, I'm like, you hold on, and we'll get better, but like you have to be strong enough to hold. I mean, that's not unique to us. Like that's entrepreneurialism. Like
Yeah.
that's not unique to me, Cameron, or anybody. Like if you're trying to start something, oh my gosh, it's if you can hold on emotionally for however long it takes to find something steady or make something steady, I should say, then it's worth it. And
Yeah.
then, in my opinion, also the hardest thing about my brain now, ever because I was like everyone knows this, right? I was a nurse, And I make this little remark on my sales calls, on my discovery calls all the time that like when I was a nurse, I was totally like left brain dominant. Like I was analytical, I was all into like the policies and the programs and all of the different formulas and basically like how do I treat a patient? Okay, X A B C X Y Z black and white, like this is the protocol. And ever since I started owning a business and having to be a creative business, now that I'm totally right side brained, I feel as though my brain is just like so like it's a blessing and a curse because it's so unorganized, but it's also like crazy creative. But I also have a hard time just like, oh, I should like my ADHD is out of control. I'm sure you can tell by my speech pattern. Like I am so farther ahead mentally than my mouth can keep up with. Like I have a billion ideas at the same time. And it wasn't that way when I had like a normal job.
Yeah.
So
Entrepreneurialism is, it's so fun.
it is fun.
It's so fun. Okay. Video question of the day.
Oh, I thought you
Number
asked it
two.
already.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, I did. I did. How long do you think it will take if I knew nothing about the wedding industry? I'm hearing the Wedding Crashers podcast right now, and I'm like, I have this entrepreneurial itch, right? I grew up doing, knocking doors, asking people if I can pick their weeds. I grew up, going to Albertsons and selling grape soda, right? Like doing the whole thing. And then I'm listening to this podcast, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. And I love video. How long do you think it would take this person, having never actually filmed a wedding, to get to the point where they're established in their career and they're settled and feeling good about the trajectory of their business?
Way quicker than us.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, how
Elaborate.
how long would it take for someone that has no experience?
Yes. Like maybe they have a camera, like a cheaper camera, or maybe they grew up with like, cheaper cameras.
Yeah.
But getting to the point where, let's say where I'm at right now, right? Like where I'm entering
Wow.
that first season where
I don't
I'm
know.
like, I'm finally feeling good coasting. I'm supporting my family without stressing the
Oh.
summer kind of thing. Like how long does it take to get there?
I still think it would take faster than us. Like we basically navigated it when there wasn't that like when the popularity and the demand wasn't there, but also when the resources and education wasn't there.
Yeah.
We definitely figured it out as we went.
Yeah.
So we exist today to help out those people. I don't know how many years do you think it would take? I honestly think it'd probably take half the time it took me, if not less. There are people right now that are living embodiments of that.
So yes, I tend to agree with you where it's like there's no reason you shouldn't be able to get there and within a couple years.
Yeah.
Maybe even a year and a half.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Fair enough. But people learn their own lessons at their own pace. And we as entrepreneurs, I feel like we get in our own way so often. We are the biggest bottleneck in our own business
Yeah.
because we have these ideas and we can't tame them.
Yeah.
Or because we think we know what we actually have no idea.
Yeah,
right?
right. So when it comes down to it, it's like sometimes it's literally just a matter of experience.
Yeah.
And so I tell these people, so that's what actually frustrates me a lot. Not frustrates me, like, but I just want to be like, "Rrr." I guess that's what frustration means.
So I was
Right?
like, I looked at
There's people that we currently mentor
Yeah.
that are doing amazing things really quickly, whether it be because they're well branded, well networked, or they're sort of super creative, or one of those three, or all of those three, whatever. Like they're doing an amazing job. They come to us to get mentored about something, and a lot of their gripe might be like, "Yeah, but I want the growth to happen quicker. What's wrong with me?" And I can offer some creative advice. Cameron can also offer some sales advice, but the fact that they've already gotten to where they are so quickly, the last piece of the puzzle for them literally is just time.
Yeah.
And that's something that neither of us can help with at that point. Like we can help, like, again, kind of accelerate specific skills or fine tune some things, but it's just experience. Like, no, like when you get to a different level demographically of like clientele and there's a different culture there, like it'll just be the experience you have amongst that culture. It'll be the experience you have communicating with like certain planners that are here or there or whatever level, right? Like it'll be just the experience and the culture and the figuring out like, how do I navigate this new way of, shooting, of people, of different, how do I structure packaging when it comes to destination stuff? Because that's something that we had to learn recently. Is like, okay, now there's people asking to do 2, 3, 4+ day weddings. Like, what's the best way to go? It's just a matter of time,
Yeah.
and experience in order to learn what it is that you need after you've already done such a good job getting to where you are pretty freaking fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. So, okay, let's do this. This should be fun. Okay, let's imagine someone is like ready to take all the advice. Okay, they're ready to take all the advice that they can. Okay, so step number one. What's step number one? This person sees us. They're like, okay, sick. I want to do wedding films. I want to get to where you guys are at. Help me get there. What is step number one? What's the biggest thing that they should do?
I feel like this is a trick question.
No,
Did they already have a camera? Buy the camera.
Assuming they have a camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, assuming they have a camera. They have a camera. Let's say they went out and they bought.
See, the thing is, I know you have the correct answer.
No, no, I'm not quizzing you.
Okay.
I'm asking you. Let's say they have the camera. Okay. Let's say they went out and they're like, I want to do this right. They get the A7 IV and they get 24-70. Okay.
Okay. So step one.
Not the nicest cameras, but great camera. A7 IV is great camera, great lens, and they've got a little rig build out, right? And they're like, okay, I have my one camera. I'm ready to go. Step one. What would you tell, like, to get this kid to the point where you're at? What would, like, the biggest piece of advice? I have an answer myself, but I don't know if it's the right answer. But
shoot. Okay, my answer would be get yourself to a wedding by whatever means possible. And I'm not saying it has to be even your wedding. Like,
yeah,
second shoot, shadow, book something super cheap, book something for free, offer a giveaway. Get yourself to weddings now. And
yesterday,
literally, like, give them away for free for a few weeks or a few months. I don't really care. Like, you have to. So when I started, it was me doing a third shooting job for a couple of friends that were already kind of established. They were growing pretty exponentially, especially for the time. And they're like, "Oh, we'd love to have a third shooter, and we can kind of train you on how to do that." I'm like, "Oh, love it." And so I would do a few third shooting jobs for them, and then I would start offering free weddings for myself, and then I never ever stopped, by the way, doing associate and second shooting jobs for other people. I like doing that. And again, it pays the bills. It gets me greater experience. I'm not above really doing that for other people when I'm available. But you got to work hard, and it can't, like, your approach has to also be pretty smart. Like, you can't just ask a second shoot for anybody.
Yeah.
At least this day and age when people like have more expectations of themselves and their work. If you're a little bit newer, it's okay. Just be patient with yourself.
Sure.
Get yourself to as many weddings as possible now by whatever means necessary.
Literally whatever means necessary. As many of your own weddings is best, because you can literally go and say, okay, these people were probably not going to hire a videographer anyway, so you're okay to mess up. Don't intentionally mess up, but you're okay to mess up. You're okay to learn by experience, trial by fire, right?
Yeah.
And then you finally get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm going to do everything I can to get to as many weddings as I possibly can right now, so that you get this experience, so that you learn the flow of a wedding day, so you know exactly what it is that you are trying to accomplish with your camera, what kind of stories you're wanting to accomplish or that you're wanting to tell. And then what I would say is just learning about the types of weddings that you want to go to. With the little weddings that you do have, the little experience with weddings that you do have, pick your favorite wedding of the last few and say, what do I need to know about this couple?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was John Bunn. I think in one of his podcasts, I don't know if he said this or if a mentor told him this. I have no idea. But basically, he was talking about how, you're trying to sell to these people that have a lot of money, right? Like, I think about some of my couples. Some of these couples that I'm filming for, they have so much money. I can't even fathom that kind of money, right? But they have it.
Yeah.
And they're spending it.
Yeah.
And they want to spend it. They like spending it. They spend more money in a few months than a lot of us make, like, in years. And that's okay.
It's funny.
That's their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. No judgment. But, like, that is a different type of person. And anyway, in this podcast, he talked about how it's important that you understand these people. And so someone had recommended that, I don't know if it was him or somebody else, that they go and sit in the hotel lobby of, like, this really, really, like, upscale hotel, like resort kind of thing, right? And just watch the people coming in. What are they wearing? What kind of watches are they wearing? What kind of cars did they drive up in? What kind of shoes are they wearing? Are they dressed up in a coat? Where are they going to? Like, just learn about some of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, if that's not your ideal market, don't do that. Learn about whatever it is that your couples are going to look like. But I think that's a really big piece that I think a lot of people want to skip over. They're just like, oh, I want to get to this cool wedding. Well, what do you mean? Well, I don't know, just a cool wedding. What do you mean a cool wedding? I don't know, like a cool wedding.
Yeah.
And they know it's a cool wedding, but they don't really know why.
Yeah.
They don't know who's paying for it. They don't know why those things are there, why they spent so much on the floral, why they spent so much on the stationery, why they spent so much on blank, 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 right? So that's number 2, I think. Get a camera, try to get as much experience as you can. And number 2, go out and try to learn about some of these people. Step number 3, what would you say?
I think I actually have it this time.
Okay.
I think step number 3 is to, on the creative end, make every wedding look so much better than how it looked in real life. I know that's kind of like the job. I get it. But you're not going to be able to find yourself at like the ideal portfolio piece wedding all the time, which is fine. But I think what really helped me out, at least the beginning, was to over deliver creatively, and like, oh my gosh, like I'd find myself maybe like at a backyard wedding, which is fine, or maybe a lot of backyard weddings actually. And one of the most common comments from like moms were like, oh, this is really like high quality. I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, thanks.
First off, rude. Second off, thank you.
But I think it just comes down to, and maybe this is more all encompassing, more than just creatively, but just like over delivering on your communication, over delivering creatively, over delivering literally on deliverables themselves. Like, hey, I know I only promised a highlight video, but like also here's raw footage, also here's an extra teaser. Like, loved helping you, I love you. Just being so communicative. Also, just the fact that you answer text, emails promptly is going to be huge, especially when you get in the world of planners. Like, you being prompt to come back like, okay, I finished this, I finished that, thank you for letting me know, looked over the timeline, all that stuff. They're going to love you. So just don't be it. It's still, like I said the other week, it's still really easy to stand out as a videographer, because a videographer has had so much time, to their detriment, to just kind of like be like an afterthought, and they treat themselves like that. Like, I'm just going to be in the back, I'm not going to say anything. And they take that attitude toward their business. And it's like, if you don't, and if you over deliver, and if you're prompt, you're going to stand out so much faster.
Yeah, don't wear that as a badge of honor, right? Like, oh, I'm like really good at being like a fly on the wall.
No.
It's like, okay, there are moments to be a fly on the wall, definitely. Like, don't get me wrong. That is not the approach to a wedding day. Don't wear that as a badge of honor. I used to do that, and I held myself back for a long time. I think my number 3 would be different.
What is it?
I think my number 3 would be, okay, take a breath and walk into some rooms with some people, with some other photographers, with some planners, with other videographers, florists, like DJs. Try to like branch out, talk to people,
be a presence,
but don't do it in this way where it's like, hey, I'm new in the industry, and I do you want, like, I'd love to work with you. I'd love to get you a free video and blah blah blah. Like, don't do that. Take a breath, be a person, be a friendly face, and just walk into do anything to walk into some rooms. Riley Roner,
hey,
films
Riley.
by Rye.
She listens to the whole thing, by the way.
Does she?
Yeah, she's gonna listen to this part.
Yay!
Hey,
That's
buddy.
so she was just on the How to Film Weddings podcast. We need to have Riley on. But she was on the How to Film's Wedding. Just kidding. She was on the How to Film's Wedding podcast, and she tells the story of how she went to this first networking event. I'm sorry, Ryan, I don't remember exactly what the event was, but it was some event where there's planners and photographers, videographers, other photographers, right? And she was talking about how she like pulled up, and she's like, I can't go in there. She was so nervous about like I can't, like, what am I doing here? Like, I should just, like, she contemplated just turning around and leaving, right? And then she's like, but you know what? She's like, if I want to hit some of these goals, like, I just got to do it. And she's like, works it up, and she goes into the event, and she met some really cool people. She said she met Daniel Kim, and was just like this opportunity where, you know, he helped her get on one of like a wedding or something. And obviously a lot came from it. And it was just like, okay, Riley, freak yeah. You got yourself into a room, and that's like the heart, like, really, like, what a relatable story.
Yeah.
Like, how many times have you showed up to like some sort of event and you're just like, I would rather be anywhere in the world than right here, right now. Like, I don't want to walk into this event right now, you know? At least that's how I am a lot of the time. Like, I'm a social guy, but like networking, I'll be the first to admit, it is like the hardest part
Yeah,
of my business. Just is. Always has been. I'm trying to fix it. But like actually going, it's like, yeah, so much comes from it.
I know.
So much comes from
I
it.
have a funny. I'm not going to say the. Never mind. I had a funny story to tell, but like I recently went to a networking event and it worked really like on top. You never know how you're going to benefit from a networking event. You
Yeah.
really never know. Like you may think like, okay, the point of it is to do this, and then you find out that like what you end up getting out of it was totally different, but equally as valuable, if not more so. Personally, for me, like I don't. I never. I think I was really excited to start networking, but just because I got a late start on it. So as soon as I was ready to do it, I'm like, "Hey guys," I never really felt like that, but I never also did it really early on. Um, and if we were to do a number, what are we on? 4, 5?
4.
We're on number 4.
Yeah. If you're going to say a new one, it's
I'm
4.
gonna say a new one, and only because this was really, really. We hit this point home hard when it came to our first workshop in February of last year. Was like you can market yourself however you want. You can
Yeah.
market yourself as like the candid videographer, like, oh, I'm the editorial videographer. Either way, you're going to need some tools. Like you need to know how to do like some skills. You need to know how to do certain things. So if you're explaining away like, I don't really know how to direct people and don't really care because I don't brand myself like that. Like I brand myself as the free flowing, let it happen kind of videographer. Like that's great. And I'm happy for you. But
Totally fine.
you should still know how.
Yeah.
You should still know how to talk. You should still know how to be great. You should know how to prompt. You should know how to, because so much of what you see me and Cameron make was prompted or directed by us, but you probably couldn't point to what those moments were because we have the experience and we've taken those hard steps in talking to those people and
Right.
learning those direction skills. And it makes us a little bit more of like hybrid videographers because depending on who wants something that's fairly directed editorially or something that's candid, like we have the confidence to do both. So I just wouldn't put yourself in one lane or the other. I would develop
Yeah.
because documenting is easy. What's hard is learning directing skills, but you'll be able to use both on any given wedding day. And not only that, the more you talk, the more trust you gain on the day itself. So
Yeah.
learn how to direct.
Yeah. And documenting people, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. Documenting is so much more than just being a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Like yes, you can document things, but if you put up a GoPro in the corner of the ceiling, you could document the whole thing. That's the most boring footage you'll ever watch. It's security footage. It's a security camera footage, you know? But it's like you can direct somebody and still document the feeling and emotion and the visuals of that day. Even though you made that moment happen, it never would have happened if you didn't direct it. But you brought it out. You documented how they felt
Exactly.
and all of that stuff.
You're creating emotion, right?
Yes.
So it's not like someone's gonna go back to this really awesome, cool thing where they're dipping each other, they're spinning each other around, or something really, really fun, and be like, I just remember it being pointed out to us to do that, so I don't feel anything. Like they don't think like that.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You're telling a story through
Yeah.
through the movement.
I want to go back to really quickly, and then we'll probably wrap up after this. But what you said about, shoot, what did you say? Oh, you said don't be in don't pick one lane and just stay there. If you went to either of our profiles, you could probably get a good feel of the types of weddings that we like being at, that we want to market for, all of that stuff. That does not mean that those are the only weddings that we're filming. It's okay to have a favorite wedding, but when you say like don't put like we're so quick as humans to like we want a title, right? Like we want to brand ourselves as something. We want to grasp onto like some sort of like identity, and that's totally fine. But you said like at least know how to do it, because what's going to happen when it's like, okay, let's say I'm just like the elopement videographer, right? Just the elopement, really intimate elopement kind of guy. I like traveling. I like hiking to the destination with my couple, right? How many of those are going to happen every year? I don't know. But what happens when I'm getting inquiries for people that have regular weddings, maybe a 150 person wedding? It's not an elopement, and they're reaching out, and I'm like, oh, I'm not that guy. But also, I need some money. Also, I have a business and a family that I'm supporting that need that income.
So that and so our world, our worlds, our what's the phrase that I can use? Basically, like the rules that we need to live by is a little bit more different than being like overly selective because we know we can make art wherever we go,
Yep.
but we also can't afford to be shooting like, no, I'm only the celebrity
Oh,
videographer.
you're having an elopement. I only film party weddings with 200 plus
And
guests.
so that's something that I was trying to kind of course correct even recently because I'm still booked to go to like intimate elopements this year, like 3 of them.
Yeah.
We don't really see them on my page anymore, but I've done a lot of them and I have ins with people that run them all the time that I will go to those weddings. I'll post about them occasionally, right? I know that what's on my feed right now is mostly like what I want to continue to do, but even then it's a pretty mixed bag.
Oh,
Even when
totally.
it's marketed
The wedding
right
that
now.
we're going for, the wedding that we're going to tomorrow, they reached out to me. Maybe a few months ago, they're like, "Hey, let's grab coffee." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we go, we're sitting chatting, and they're like, "So we just want to like let you know that like we love your films. We have loved all of your films. Like we cannot wait for you to film our wedding. We see that you're doing all of this other like really big cool stuff. This is the type of like they're telling me like videos that they loved that I did, and I'm like, I got you. That's fine too.
Yeah.
You know, like you know what tomorrow is gonna be? Tomorrow is gonna be a very slow, a very dreamy, whimsical
Oh,
kind of
dude.
thing. They love the slow music. They don't like the fast moving
Dude, it's
stuff.
so cute when they're like when you get on these calls and they ask you to do something that's so much more simple and easy than what
Yeah,
you're currently doing. Like, I hope that's okay.
yeah. And I'm like, of course
And
that's
like, no, yeah, no,
okay.
that's fine. Of course it
It's
is.
more than okay. It's like, yeah, you deserve whatever video you want. And guess what? I don't need to be like, oh, am I gonna be able to do that? Like, I don't have to worry about it. I know how to film that way. Can't wait. I'm
Yeah.
excited for it. I haven't had a wedding like that in a long time where they're like, yeah, we just want it to be like beautiful. Like we want to cry the whole way through. And I'm like, freak, yeah, that's a new challenge for me. You know,
Be-
like,
exactly. And I think when your talent is just like is like so big, like you can look at like the top dogs in the industry and they could go to basically anywhere. Like it's we're so used to them maybe doing like really cool things in like Europe or like Africa or Zimbabwe, wherever. They could go to somewhere that we think is like more on the side of like intimate or very specific, like Sedona, and make something there, and the whole world would freak out still.
yeah,
Because like it doesn't really matter where they find themselves. Like they make great stories wherever. Like, and it could be a subgenre maybe or something a little bit different than what they normally make. But because their talent it kind of shines through whatever they make, everyone would be like, "Bow down, they've done it again," you know. So
it's
I
like
don't.
that was just literally at Papago Park. That's
I
like barely
exact
outside of the Phoenix Zoo.
right,
What are you
right.
talking about?
So well, yeah. So that's what like. I wouldn't be too scared to just like I'm talented here, I'm talented there, I'm talented wherever.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like I direct well. On top of that, I have a lot of experience because I've done all the hard work by getting myself wherever I needed to be. Not only that, I'm really prompt and I'll answer all the emails really or fast and specifically and with all the love that we can't afford any other way of doing it than
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
We can't afford not to do
Yeah.
it any other way.
Yeah. Calm down. Calm down. Yeah, no, it's so funny. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't need to make some big old full list or anything, but I don't know. I think it's so interesting how it's like, these people have this like huge desire, this huge like want and need to like go out and like do their own business, like wedding films. I'm settled here. I can't wait to literally just do this the rest of my life, do Wedding Crashers the rest of my life, right? But like it took a few different businesses, this entrepreneurial thing in me, like it required that I do something different for a little while. And I was just testing the waters, I sold phones. I started. Did I ever tell you about my dog training business? I told you about my dog training business.
Was this recent?
No,
Oh.
This was when me and Ash first got married.
You train dogs?
I trained dogs.
That sounds like a hell of a lot of work.
It was a lot of work, and I paid money for this course. Don't bring it up to. It's really sore
I'm
subject.
gonna text her right now.
You should not do that. But it was like this thing where it's like I had to go out and try it, and then I did it, and then it was like, okay, sick. Anyway, and I finally get to the point where I'm like doing something that I love. So if you're here, if you feel like you're busting out the seams, like you need to do something, you're an entrepreneur, and you find yourself here at the Wedding Crashers podcast and you're listening, just reach out to us. We'd love to answer any of your questions. Send us a DM. Really, we love helping. Join the school community, introduce yourself, plug yourself in, let people know you want to start filming weddings, let people know that you want to start second shooting for them, and, get opportunities under your feet. It's the best job in the world. It's the best job in the whole world.
It's hard to admit, but at the same time, it's really easy to say, hey, that this is the best job in the world. Huh? Was that kind of profound?
Hard to admit, but easy to say.
Yeah.
Why hard to admit?
Because I just feel like I'm bragging. Like,
Oh.
yeah, the best job in the world.
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah.
kind of profound, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. I thought you were saying it was hard to admit. Like, it's hard to admit that I like this job.
No.
Like, I thought you were embarrassed. I'm like, how dare you?
No, I'm glad you cleared that up. It's crazy. In high school, I've never in a bazillion years would have thought like wedding videos for me. Like, it's just not. It's not.
But video, you know what's funny? I always knew it would be video.
I did not.
I didn't know it was going to be video, but that's what I wanted to do. In high school, whenever people would ask, what are you going to do? What are you going to go to college for? I'm like, I don't know. I want to make movies though. And everyone would tell me like, oh, but then you got to go to Hollywood and you got to like shadow people.
Little did we know, anyone can make a movie.
Literally anybody. Literally anybody. They're like, you can't make money doing that. You'd have to go and try to get in with like Steven Spielberg. And I'm just like, nah,
No.
okay. But like, I believed them. Like, I didn't know anything. I didn't know any better. I'm like, oh, I guess that's just the way that it is. A few years go by and I'm seeing my friends get these wedding videos and I'm like, video? I'm like, did you pay these people? Like, you're paying them like you're paying a photographer?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's crazy. And then, the money side of my brain was like, I could make some extra cash.
Yep.
So I do my first wedding and I'm like, hold the phone. That was fun. And it's like, now we're here. So the best job in the whole world.
It is.
The whole world. And if you want more community involved, if you'd like to be a part of the best job of the whole world, in the whole world, but like not feel like you're alone, because that's pretty common.
Yeah.
If you don't plug yourself in, then visit school.com/weddingcrashers, join the community, say what's up.
All right. And join, after you join the school community, please, we're starting our mastermind on Wednesday, 2 days after you hear this podcast for the first time.
Dois.
On the 18th.
Yep.
We'll be here. We'll be sitting just like how we are right now in our little studio, teaching how to sell weddings, our experiences, maybe even going over a few of our sales calls, see the differences, see how we approach them, how we talk to them. Again, you'll learn a lot. That's the WC guarantee.
Wow.
Bride and Groom. Go to Bride and Groom for $100 off when you use code CRASHERS100.
We just lost our sponsor.
Also, come go to our website, check everything out, including this podcast at theweddingcrashers.co, and follow us on Instagram at weddingcrashers.co.
Booyah.
All right, guys.
We did it. I can't wait for what you said with our exit music that's playing right now. Just phenomenal.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See ya.